Hey everyone, and welcome to the very first Ambition versus Talent side quest. This series is going to be something a little bit different. Instead of me doing ambitious projects in the shed, these little side quests are all about when I take time out from the shed and go off and do a cool little adventure somewhere. What are we doing today, you ask? Well, we are doing a road trip up around the East Cape. So today is actually my good friend Shane's birthday. He's just flying in, so I'm literally just driving into the airport to go and pick him up, and then we're going to head up around Mahia through Gisborne and up around the East Cape and then up through the Bay of Plenty after that. It's going to be a cool few days, and I haven't yet broken it to him that I'm going to be filming him. I might do that little bit off camera, because if he says no, this could be a very short series. But anyway, not to worry, I'm sure he'll be on board with it all. And yeah, I can't wait to get on the road. It's nothing like a good old-fashioned road trip. And I have been around the East Cape before, so I know that it's absolutely beautiful. But we've got a few road works and things going on up there because of recent weather events here in New Zealand that have absolutely decimated the East Cape, really. So it feels kind of good to be going up that way and putting a little bit of money back into that local economy, because certainly they've been doing it tough, especially with less tourism after the cyclones and whatnot. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be awesome. I'm here a few minutes early, so I'm just going to park up and wait for his flight to land, and then I shall spring the surprise on him that he's going to be on camera. And hopefully he's all on board with it, and we'll catch up with you guys when we're on the road. Okay, so that was Shane's flight that was just landing. He's texted me to say that he is exiting the plane, so just ducking in to come and pick him up.
Being a good sport, Shane did agree, so here are your two hosts for this side quest, Walt and Shane. After a brief pit stop in Wairoa, which is a small town north of Napier, we hit the road for the beautiful coastal community of Mahia at the very top of Hawke's Bay. We had a good run up from Wairoa to the Mahia turn-off at Newhaka, where the road heads out to the coast with some stunning views. Mahia is well known for its fishing, surfing and beautiful beaches, while the peninsula is also home to Rocket Lab's Launch Complex 1. Mahia is only a small community with basic facilities, but features both classic Kiwi beaches as well as some quite substantial modern homes. We checked into the Omaio Beach resort for the evening and were greeted by the resident cat. While resort is a bit of a stretch, it is well situated by the beach for beautiful sunsets. After a beer or two for Shane's birthday, we went to Sunset Point pub for dinner and were treated to a fantastic night sky on the walk home. All in all, a good evening.
Alright, so day two. We're here at the beach in Mahia. We've just checked out of our accommodation last night, had a really nice meal down at the tavern, which was surprisingly well priced. Went down quite nicely along with a couple of beers. And yeah, little breeze today, but other than that, beautiful blue sky, so good road tripping weather. So
yeah, the weather's good.
Shane, what's our plan for today?
Today we're heading up to Gisborne to stock up on supplies at Pack and Save, and then onward through Tolaga Bay and up to Tokomaru Bay for the next night.
Yeah, so that should be good. Tolaga Bay obviously has got, or at one point had, New Zealand's longest wharf, so maybe we'll stop and check that out. And we might brave Pack and Save in Gisborne. It should be a good trip. So we'll jump on the road, maybe grab a coffee somewhere along the way, and next stop Gisborne.
That's good.
It's only a short hop up to Gisborne from Mahia, but it's only city on our trip, so we stocked up with supplies at the local Pack and Save supermarket and fueled up the car. Gisborne is quite picturesque and worth a visit if you haven't been before, but we've both been here a few times, so it's what lies beyond Gisborne that's really the focus of this trip.
Alright, so we just passed through Gisborne, stopped in at the Pack and Save and stocked up on some supplies, which was a bit of a chaotic experience, but anyway, hung out with the locals for a little bit, got some gas, got some foods, got some drinks, and we've got about 50 k's to go to Tolaga Bay, haven't we? And then I think we'll just park up, have a look at the sights, and maybe have a little picnic lunch. So, plain sailing.
Very nice.
Easy.
The beaches and coastline above Gisborne are beautiful. It's a very scenic drive. Tolaga Bay itself hosts some great walking trails, but its key feature really is its historic wharf. Completed in 1929, at 660 metres long, it was then New Zealand's longest wharf. It's no longer used today and has deteriorated quite a lot from its heyday, but you can still walk out onto it. After a quick bite to eat by the beach, we hit the road again for the short hop up to Tokomaru Bay. Similar to Tolaga Bay, this was once a thriving centre during the days of sea freight. Unfortunately, as road transport replaced shipping, this too fell into disrepair. The remains of the old Tokomaru Bay wharf and the storehouses and factories that fed it are still there, with some work ongoing to try and preserve some of this history. After checking out the remains of the freezing works and the shipping company offices, we made our way to Te Puka Tavern, which was our stop for the night. The accommodation here was really good, kind of like a little apartment right by the bay, with one outstanding feature for a boys' road trip.
Check this out.
We're right next to the pub. After a hearty steak dinner and a pint or two, we had a good night's sleep but woke to find that our run of good luck with the weather was starting to turn.
Feel the power.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we on? Day 3, and we're on the road with a bit of a disappointment. So we're just leaving Tokomaru Bay. We were hoping to go and get one of the famous power pies from Cafe 35, but they're not open today. So yeah, a bit disappointed by that. But anyway,
Wednesday to Sunday.
yeah, bugger. Should have grabbed one yesterday. But anyway, not to worry. We had a great stay. Probably one of the highlights of yesterday was maybe the meal last night was good, and the unit that we stayed in was fantastic. So other than that, the scenery's been brilliant. It's a little bit overcast today and potentially might even rain, but yeah, got a cool run going up to Te Araroa and out to the very end of the East Cape, and then we'll head round to Waihau Bay tonight for dinner and place to stay. So yeah, that's the plan. Anything to add?
Driving a manual for the first time in about 10 years.
And he hasn't stalled it, so yeah, old habits die hard, eh?
Leaving Tokomaru Bay, there were some significant roadworks, but after those, we were soon back to exploring. Okay, if nobody hears from me again, it's because Shane's just taking us down a little detour. I'm getting a little worried. Oh no, there's a road over there. We're heading back to civilization. It's all good.
It just loops around at the start.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't need to worry about the shovel and bag of lime and rope and duct tape that Shane loaded in the boot today.
After a little detour through the very sleepy town of Ruatoria, we soon came across the classic East Cape traffic jam. The farmer was quick to wave us through, even if the sheep didn't seem too keen on being passed. Shortly after we got through this, though, we arrived in Tikitiki, where we stopped to check out its famous church. The church, with its memorial to Sir Appiarananata and bench seat gifted by the All Blacks, is well worth a visit. The quaint exterior holds a remarkable interior, rich with traditional Maori carvings and designs. Every seat on the pews even has its own crocheted cushion, and it is all spotlessly clean and beautifully cared for. After leaving Tikitiki, we stopped in Te Araroa to check out what is thought to be New Zealand's oldest Pohutukawa tree, possibly over 600 years old. From Te Araroa, we took the road that takes you out to the lighthouse at the very tip of the East Cape. It starts off well, but very quickly deteriorated, and unfortunately for us, the car park at the very end of the road held a nasty surprise.
Yeah, that sucks.
With the track to the lighthouse closed, there was no choice but to make our way back along that same muddy road into Te Araroa, where we were able to rejoin State Highway 35 and continue our trip around the East Cape. Continuing around the coast, we took a detour into Onepoto Bay. It wasn't exactly beach weather, but it's a cool little spot where it seems the locals take their fishing very seriously. Check out this commercial boat and the rig that launches it, obviously made to handle some very heavy weather. After leaving Onepoto Bay, the road ducked inland before making its way back to the coast. It didn't take us too long to get to Waihau Bay, which is our stop for the night. Famed for its fishing, Waihau Bay boasts some petrol pumps, a general store, a restaurant and a bar. We checked into our accommodation, which is right above the restaurant and bar, then sat on the deck to reflect on the day.
Yeah, cheers. Well, it was a fun day. What did we see today? We saw the New Zealand's oldest Pohutukawa.
And tried to go to the East Cape Lighthouse. That was a bit of a letdown, wasn't it? But anyway, not to worry. It was a bit of an adventure. Weather's not been as nice. It's been a lot colder and overcast and stuff compared to yesterday and the day before that were blue sky and sunshine. Yeah, I suppose probably the biggest surprise is checking into the accommodation here and finding out that we've basically rented an entire house. It's massive.
It's huge.
Yeah, 4 bedrooms,
2 bathrooms.
full-size bathrooms, not even just en suites. They're massive.
But we are sitting here on the deck and probably turn the camera around and have a look at the view.
This is where they filmed the movie Boy, just down the road from us, or just next door really, is the store from the movie Boy. So we might go get an ice cream from there tomorrow if the sun comes back out. Don't know. It's not ice cream weather at the moment anyway.
It's a little chilly.
But yeah, but we're having our panheads, our superchargers. Seems appropriate for a road trip. And then a few snacky snackstons, and that's it. Nothing too much planned, just cruising. Okay, so last day of our East Cape adventure. We've checked out of our accommodation at Waihau Bay, which was awesome. Yeah, really nice comfy beds, fantastic shower, everything you need really. And yeah, as we make our way down to Ohope, just travelling through, we've stopped to check out this church here, which is in a fantastic little spot. Very sheltered and peaceful here. It's nice. Still overcast day, but a bit warmer than it was yesterday and not so windy. So nice day for our last leg of the trip.
The run from Waihau Bay to Opotiki would be stunning on a good day, but unfortunately for us, the weather was still not playing ball. However, we did stop to check out some of the sites, including Omaio Beach. The last part of State Highway 5 that winds around the Cape does venture inland a bit, making for a great driver's road to wrap up our tour of the East Cape.
We're sitting on a park bench up above Ohope Beach at the moment, where we stayed last night. So I'll give you guys a view of that. But
Quite a steep walk up here.
it is quite a steep walk. Yes, but epic views. Lovely little bushwalk here, and we did come up here last night, didn't we, and found some glowworms.
In the dark, found some glowworms.
Yeah, staggered around in the mud in the dark until we found some glowworms.
Yeah.
And then today we've come back and done the full loop after consuming a massive big breakfast and a decent cup of coffee this morning.
Gigantic cup of coffee.
Yeah. Hope's been very nice, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's really nice here. Yeah.
Arrived on Taco Tuesdays and went to the Mexican place, which was really yummy. And staying just across from the beach, woke up to a beautiful day here today, so that was nice after the last couple of days being a bit miserable. But it was a nice run. The roads were quite good, eh? You did most of the driving the last couple of days and seemed to be enjoying in a manual on some windy roads.
That's right.
So,
yeah.
no, it's been a good trip. Yeah, kind of sad it's over, but from here we're just going to cruise our way up to Auckland, and thus concludes the East Cape tour. So,
Yeah, you want to swivel and show this view.
yeah, indeed. Yeah, it's not a bad spot to be sitting here. So this is the bush we've been walking through and the lookout over Ohope Beach down there. You can see the sand and the surf coming in, and then way off in the distance you can see White Island out there with just a little puff of smoke. So whether that's a bit of volcanic activity or just a stubborn cloud, I don't know. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next side quest.